Wrestling still no koye ya try a carrot. A failure started was scratching the sandbar, punching the hat. This year be wise. Most cowboys so touch and pre-design. Yeah, this year your family wife. Man, ya my side chicken that down the whisker no phone could be back and the poverty die. Now poverty go die. Yeah. Party man soon on the country. This year I am pedamado. Sika say ne pepe. This year I am pedamado. TV series is in Tintin. This is a young shredder madam. Chapel Monday to Sunday. Software and pedal madam. On our way to riches. On our way. Fire bomb poverty. Far away. Oh, bad you go. Yeah, baby. Oh, bad you go. Nah, baby. Oh, bad you go. Yeah, baby.
All right, Tier4, good evening. Michelle Obibiara. I hope you all can see me tonight. Good evening. Michelle Obibiara, welcome to HRE TV. I am your host, your special host for tonight. Of course, our host PK Asenso is taking a break for tonight. Obaye Jewa is my name. Tonight we have a special show for you today. It's all about agriculture. It's all about the soil. It's all about farming. Let's see what works best for you in Ghana. You're from Obaye Jewa, but for now, let's take a short break and talk to our sponsors, TapTap Send. We'll be with you in a minute. Thank you.
My chef and party planner. You know we can't get this retirement/birthday shindig go wrong.
Everything is almost ready, but small problem.
Why, what's up?
We are way over budget, Kweku.
Everything is almost twice the estimate.
Adibab, okay? No worries.
So with TapTap Send, I have got a cake and decorations covered for the year.
You handle the food.
If any extra expenses comes up, just text me or call me.
I'm off today, so I should be easily reachable.
Hey, chairman, it is for
Say, no be easy, you. Chairman has time and money. Allah.
Kweku tap, Kweku do, Kweku that.
I chairman can't call you.
Hey, Alande, Chairman send them.
TapTap Send. Papa no.
Good evening once again. You're from Obaye Jewa. Forgive me for a bit of technical difficulties that I'm having this evening. But tonight, I am so excited for the topic of the show tonight. We are talking about agriculture in Ghana, investing in Ghana. But before we move on, we will definitely take a word from our sponsors, the Mpanyinfoɔ a wɔdi yɛn anim regarding TapTap Send. We cannot do this show without their support. So once again, I'll humbly ask our Mpanyinfoɔ to join us this evening. Give us some words of encouragement. Let us know what's going on with TapTap Send. Director Dan and Director A-Class, if you are on the line tonight, please let's discuss a little bit about TapTap Send before we jump right into our scheduled program tonight. Good evening, Director.
Good evening, everybody. How do you hear me?
Pachai, Mitonka.
Okay, yeah, then I'm say. I mean, today is a lovely day. I'm much interested in this farming stuff. Inti me passion se kan mesum de kwakodo. So this is so I'm very much interested today. I wish to say Ubi or was to be a share link, so people will come in and listen to what is coming to happen today. Now back to TapTap Send. I hope we are in your families, your homes, everywhere. So we need to blast the whole of US, Canada with TapTap. So by so doing, we are creating a family. And this is also a platform for such a big family. We'll be expressing what you like, what you don't. And so doing, we try to gather informations, idea, and what you want us to put on the app. Now, a lot of people were asking for the wallet, and akaketewa bi na wallet no through US. I mean, people have started using it because we are piloting it, so it's already there. Into akaketewa bi na wallet na baho, and I hope say it will be one of the game changers. What happens, and I say with money transfer, no, it goes through a lot of channels. Well, in most of your customers, and what they know is we've sent our money through TapTap, and so TapTap. Yeah, but there's a lot of bureaucracies being in where so we send this not pending. When we talk about pending is not really from our end, it's from local partner. Maybe I'm not doing so be a Ghana or some kind. I'm just joking anyway, but MTN and the partners will have some hinge be issues be so you get pending, and it doesn't really happen most times, but let's say you see them nti ɛba saa a ɛwɔ sɛ bi a sika no sometimes it goes through after some hours, sometimes it fail. And now the problem with the failure, example, who send this car to Ghana, who last aka ne $50 na person send it. Na BBSC na sika na fail. Then your money has to come back to your bank accounts. Bank no so ɔmo transformation a yɛ ɔmo so procedure ɔmo so fa so. So then they will hold your money for like 3 to 5 days, sometimes more, So we actually bringing on this wallet, which will help a lot. It is kind of drop here. Because of some bank in here autonomous, we can't tell the bank to just deposit the money in your accounts. But then they will have to take their procedure and we can't command them. Sometimes it takes 3 to 5 days, which we can't do anything about it. Right now, what we are doing is that we're bringing the wallet to the States. I mean, more European, they've had a touch of it and they are loving it. So we are also bringing it to the States. The thing is that we give you the option to refund the money in your wallet. So the bear with my sending a while, and also you can choose to send it later. But then the money is instant. It comes straight to the wallet because you ain't any control. Yes, you empty your customers for a best stress. So this is one thing that will be there live. We are having donations on the app. I wish you say your customers know each and everybody will try to send a coin. I mean, I was in Ghana after a decade. Oba, can you imagine after a decade? Me call Ghana decade via. So me strange. And trust me, $1 can change your life in Ghana, right? So we having this 3 donation for now. Yeah, they boy your mind. Say obi biya timika say o me ma $1. Trust me, we will make a big change in Ghana. And that is what TapTap stands for. Our CEO intends to move all the big capital from the first countries to the third world country to make a transformation over there to change lives. Director, and so keep on saying this. Say you see we want to push it back home to change lives. I mean, we have a lot of projects going on. We make it easy for our people to do that. And to say, a corporate responsibility as a company to also help back home. Nti yana ebinum ka na rate. We are trying to give you the best rate, but trust me, we also intend to give the little penny, the widow's mite. Kakran na yenya free so no. We try to push it back home to also support other things in Ghana. Nti abusuafo, from TapTapSend, this is what we have for you. Momra ni nyina nka moma busua ni enko sesa ekuro Ghana no. I mean, we can do it. We are not just sending money, but we are just making a family thing be wahanom. So you join, you call your family, you call everybody to also have their way. And so, but that is what we have from TapTap for now.
Wonderful. Director, you know what I said? Thank you so much. This program would not be successful without the support of TapTap Send. Abusuafo, mahyia mu this evening. We always want to remind you that this job would not be possible, this program would not be possible without the support of TapTap Send. We thank you so much for being a great supporter of TapTap Send, and thank you for continuing to use this app. Again, he talked about the wallet, and it's definitely going to come in effect pretty soon. So stay tuned. We want to also thank all our ambassadors here in the USA. We have so many of them on the phone and on the platform tonight who are joining us. So we want to thank you so much for your continuous support and the love that you have for Tap Tap Send. Let's take a quick short break before we bring our guest of honor onto the show tonight. Eye Samuel Adedako, our agriculture expert. I know there's a feedback, and we'll get that straightened out right away. Let's take a short break.
My chef and party planner. You know we can't get this retirement slash birthday shindig go wrong.
Everything is almost ready, but small problem.
Why, what's up?
We are way over budget, Kweku.
Everything is almost twice the estimate.
Alibaba, okay? No worries.
So with TapTap Send, I have got a cake and decorations covered from here.
You handle the food.
If any extra expenses comes up, just text me or call me.
I'm off today, so I should be easily reachable.
Hey, chairman, it is for
Say, no be easy. Chairman has time and money. Allah.
Kweku TapTap, Kweku Del, Kweku that.
Ah, chairman can't call.
Hey, Alande, Chairman send them.
TapTap Send. Papa no no.
You're mute.
All right. Can y'all hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Oh, right. Forgive me. Again, my name is Obaye Jewa. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight for this wonderful program, A Time with Tap Tap Send. I am your host, Obaya Ejewa. Tonight, as you've heard from our sponsors, Tap Tap Send, it is going to be indeed a great show about agriculture. All you need to know from soil to success, from the inception to the fruition of your farming in Ghana. I have a wonderful guest of honor tonight by the name of Samuel Ade Dako, who is an expert in this area of agriculture, whether it's pig farming that you're doing, whether it's poultry, whether it's any type of farming, he will definitely give us his expertise as to how to obtain the land and to cultivate the land and to make it fruition. So again, let's welcome our special guest of honor, Samuel Ade Dako, the CEO of Cactus Agri Limited in Ghana. Welcome, our dear friend, Mr. Samuel. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. How you doing? Yeah.
Nyame adom me ho yɛ paa. Thank you so much. I know sɛ ade asa wɔ Ghana paa nso so no.
No.
You've taken some time to join us tonight, and we're very, very grateful. Let's get started. Okay, give us a little background about who you are, how you began your journey into agriculture, if you don't mind.
Okay. Good evening to all our listeners and our viewers. I'm Samuel Adeda, as you already stated. I'm the CEO of Cactus Agri Limited and Asanka Premium Foods Limited. Basically, I've been in agri for almost a decade. I know a lot when it comes to agri because I'm a more practical person rather than theory. My expertise is in all aspects of agri, specifically poultry, livestock, and etc. So I'm really happy when I see the youth interested in agri, and especially the wave in Ghana. I mean, it's all gearing towards agri. So it's a good time to start agric in Ghana. There are lots of opportunities. Yeah, so I'm happy to be with you, and I entreat everybody to put down questions because there will be question and answers time, and after the presentation, we'll get the opportunity to interact with each other. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, Mpacho, talk to us about agriculture. Yawahe, how do we go about obtaining the land to really start the process? What does that entail?
Okay, so in terms of land acquisition, when you look at the Land Act 2020, Act 1036, it states in Section 22, when it comes to acquisition of farmland, where you can have poultry land and cereal land for not more than 25 years. And when it comes to a ranch and timber and crop tree, you can have it for 50 years and not exceeding 50 years. So that's the basics. So you have to know that you can't have a poultry land for more than 25 years by the laws of Ghana. So in your negotiations, you have to bear in mind those parameters. So with acquisition of land, I'll always encourage people to look at places like the Savannah region, which is the north, Ashanti region, Brong East, Ahafo region, Central region, Volta region. These are good places for crop production and even poultry, livestock, what have you. And in terms of the price, I know viewers would love to hear about the price of land.
Yes.
We've done some extensive research into it, and you'll be amazed that you can get an acre of land. When you talk about an acre, is 4 plots of land. You can get it at as low as 500 cedis, which is $35 in the Savannah region. That's mind blowing. An acre, which is 4 plots of land, you can get it at the Savannah region for 500 cedis, which is equivalent to $35. So it tells you Savannah has the largest arable land in Ghana, and the land supports a lot of crops. You talk about shea butter, maize, yam, cassava, rice, cereal, a lot. So looking at crop production, Savannah is a place to look at. And some interesting things are happening in the Savannah region right now, where the Burkinabés have introduced sesame seed production. Yeah, sesame seed production. And the health benefits of this sesame is good source of fiber. You have lower cholesterol. You have nutritious source of plant protein, lower blood pressure, healthy bones, reduce inflammation, a whole lot. The list goes on. And it's more lucrative now, the sesame. So most of the farmers in the Savannah region are actually looking at producing. They've actually started. It's very popular in Burkina Faso, our neighbors, and they've introduced it in Savannah, and it's booming. So it's a good area for people to venture in as well. And looking at places like the Ahafo, the Brong East, you can have a farmland. That's an acre of land at 7,500 to 9,500. That's the range in cities. But in dollars, is $500 to $650. That's an acre of land, which is 4 plots equivalent. It's not so different in central region, where you can have an acre of land, which is 4 plots, at 6,000 to 7,500 cedis, which is equivalent to $400 $500. And in Ashanti region too, you can have an acre of land at thousand ranging from 1,000 to 1,300 $1,300. So you can see Savannah has the cheapest land, and in terms of acquisition, I would not recommend. I know some people are asking why I didn't mention Greater Accra region. I never recommend Greater Accra region to my clients when it comes to production. and someone mentioned Western region, but I've done some research on these regions. That's why I'm focusing on these regions. But Western region too is very good, especially in the rainforest. And the rainforest areas, you talk about Western region, Ashanti region, Brongahafo regions. They are good for plantation farming, such as cashew, mango. It's really booming there. Maize farming is the ish, there's scarcity of maize and all that. So maize farming is the ish. It's really booming right now. It's really booming right now. So when it comes to I'm trying to
Yeah, if you don't mind, just turn your phone like the long way, the landscape way.
okay.
Wonderful. Yes, perfect.
All right. That's fine. So when we talk about cashew mango production too, you can look at places like Kintampo and also Techiman, where they have a lot of mango and cashew plantations. It's good for export. So in case you have factories in the US, in the Canada, you can look at raising these few crops in Ghana, and you're going to have some good business. So with crop production, like I said, some people will ask why I didn't mention Greater Accra. With the acquisition of land, Greater Accra becomes a problem. It becomes a bit of a challenge because of the nature of acquiring land in Greater Accra, where most of
Right.
the lands are for families. So you tend to buy one land from one person, and another person shows up saying they didn't get some of the money and all that. But with the other regions I mentioned, the land is in the custody of the stool and the chiefs and the skin. So it's easy to acquire. Once you pay and you do the necessary documentations, you are rest assured that you don't have any litigation problems. So that's a bit of a challenge in Greater Accra. The litigation issues when it comes to land. So I always recommend you do Eastern region, Central, Ashanti region, Savannah, so that you have peace. So when it comes to acquisition of land, depending on what you want to do, the biggest challenge when it comes to crop production in Ghana is the over reliance on rainfall, which is a challenge because you are never sure of the weather pattern. So if you want to go into farming in Ghana, I recommend you look at irrigation farming, which is not any difficult task. It's not rocket science. It's very simple. You just make sure you have some wells and some systems which can sprinkle the water and all that. It's no big deal. Though it has a very long name, irrigation, but
Yeah, you
it's
say you
very
say
it's
it
very
so you say it so softly, but like it may
yeah.
not be very easy for somebody. So if you can just
Oh, irrigation is basically when you have some water stores like rivers, streams, you can connect to your farm. But if you don't have those as well, you can dig wells,
Okay.
deep rock. Yeah, you hit the rock, you get water, and it's easy for you to, give your crops the water that they need. Because
And
if you
see,
don't.
irrigation
Mhm.
process is that every farm needs that, right?
Yes, because of the weather, the rainfall system in Ghana. So that's a bit of a challenge. It's not even a bit challenge, it's a big problem in Ghana because most of the farmers wait for rainfall before they put seeds in the soil and all that. And it's not the best. So I think the Minister of Agric, Honorable Eric Opoku, has even launched something concerning irrigation where the government wants to go into irrigation and help, so that we have a year-round production of, crops. Because some crops are, because of the nature of the rains, some crops go off season. At some time, you will not really see tomato. At some time, you may not really see pepper, which is a challenge. And our neighbors, Burkina Faso, they do irrigation farming and they export tomato into Ghana, which is shameful. This is a landlocked,
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
country we
whoa,
are talking
whoa.
about.
Wait,
Burkina
Maya
has
confused
no,
Kakra. Wait, are you saying so due to the irrigation factor of the farming into
yeah.
yeah, into me
Mhm.
be an answer like what it was it what repeat that again.
Okay, I'm saying that we were not concentrating on irrigation farming as a
And
country.
irrigation farming is more relating to the water.
Yes,
In
water.
Sona,
You know,
in Sona, you be good farming also no.
farming, no, yes.
And no
You know,
and its own, no, it's like an its own entity of farming.
exactly. And that's the most important thing because crops need, water. You get it? Like 78% of, crop production is water. So, I mean, we're always relying on the rains and all that. Like I was given an example, Burkina Faso is a landlord country. They don't have waters around them, but they went into irrigation farming. And right now, Burkina Faso exports food into Ghana, which is shameful, you know?
Hey,
So, yes. So I think the government has seen the need for irrigation farming and they've actually launched the program. So if you want to go into crop production, you have to look at irrigation farming. Very important. And talking about crops, maize is booming in Ghana. Maize crop production. Because of the poultry, the pressure of poultry production in Ghana, they need a lot of maize. So maize is booming in Ghana. So if you want to look at, I'll come to I'll come to poultry very soon. I mean,
okay,
that's where I have the expertise and all that. But I want to touch on crops before coming to poultry.
okay.
So yes, so maize is also good. You can look at growing maize, getting dryers, silos to keep the maize, because at a point, like I'm telling you about the rain issues and all that, you can store your maize and sell it at some particular times when the price really rise. So it's really good business in Ghana. We actually import maize from Argentina. It's sad. Ghana is basically
Wow.
importing everything. Oh yes.
Ghanaians import maize from Argentina.
Yeah, Argentina to help with our poultry production. We import yellow maize from Argentina to help poultry production. So I mean, we as a youth, we have to
Is it
unite
because you need maize in Ghana? Wana?
because demand and supply. What we have is not enough. You get it? What we have is not enough. When you look at the poultry feed, it's 60% maize. So you can imagine. So the poultry farmers alone can buy all the maize in Ghana. So one bankune kinki for home you get it. So sometimes you have to import maize from Argentina to actually support the poultry production in Ghana, which is sad. So there's a lot of potential when it comes to crop production in Ghana. There's a lot of potential. Soya bean, for example, is good in the north. You can extract oil. I have a friend who owns a factory in Ghana who extract soya oil, and they are doing well they are in business. So all these things are things we can look at. So as a youth, we have to be very interested in agriculture because trust me, it pays. There's a lot of money in agriculture. Yes, we shouldn't focus on the banking and all that. I mean,
So how
a
much?
loan.
Okay, so for somebody who is basically green, have no knowledge of agriculture, but they have the passion
Okay.
for to do so. What would you tell them? Where should they start? Talk to us
Okay.
about the beginning.
Okay. So with agriculture, if you want to start, like we discussed earlier, you have to get your land. That's the most important thing. And looking at the type of agriculture you want to go into. If it's crop production you want to go into, you have to ask yourself, which type of crop do I want to grow? If it's rice, I recommend the north. If it's maize production, I recommend the north. It can be done in some regions as well, Ashanti region, Western, Eastern as well. If it's cashew mango, I recommend the Brong Ahafo, and Ahafo, Brong East regions. So depending on the crop you want to grow, you look at the region which supports it. Granite, look at the North Volta region, granite production. And all these crops are, crops which are exported. If you don't have the capacity to open factories or, create, factories to process these products, you can start with exporting. So wherever you are, you can look at an export opportunity so that if somebody a factory needs granules, if a factory needs mangoes, whatever, citrus, you can look at that. You can link up with people in Ghana. You can get a space to start something, because the most important thing we should know is the market. At the end of the day, when your produce are ready, where is it going? Sadly, some people have citrus farms and the oranges go bad, they fall for birds to eat it because they don't have anyone they are selling to. And those people who are also selling and buying from these poor farmers tend to exploit them. So it's a challenge. So if you really want to go into crop production, make sure you have your market. It's very important. If you want to go into farming in Ghana, make sure you have your market, because people will tell you, oh, maize in there and so tall. Oh, yeah, people will buy cassava, people will buy, it will be ready and you'll be struggling. You know, people will never get you the market that you need, but you have to get the market straight before you go into it. So we have people on ground. Like you're saying, since you have alliance now, if people in the diaspora want to go into farming, we make sure we give them the right people to fall on, because I mean, you may never know. Some people can deal with you and they might not be genuine. So we'll give you the right people to fall on, depending on what you want to do, what you are passionate about. And trust me, anything you want to do in Ghana, when it comes to crops, if you go through the right channel, you will never regret your decision. You never regret
So,
your decision.
so you've mentioned about the land, right?
Yeah,
You've mentioned about the land.
yeah.
Approximately how much of a land does one need to obtain, like to begin? How much is it? An acre good enough? And what are the prices? Does it vary depending on the location? You mentioned the
Okay,
aggregation or something. What is,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, so I think I already touched on it, but I'll retreat it. Savannah region, I mentioned the price. You can get an acre of land, which is 4 plots, which is not
Oh,
bad to start farming. Four
okay.
plots, you can get it at 500 cedis, as cheap as 500 cedis, which is equivalent to $35 in
For
the
four
Savannah
acre,
region. Yes, for 4 plots. For 4 plots. Yeah, we have
four
we
plots
have
for five
people.
hundred cities.
Yeah, 500 cedis, close to pizza money.
Kasa,
you know,
kasa yanko.
yes. So the Savannah region has the largest arable land, and a lot of foreign investors go there to do large scale. They have millions of hectares of land which has not been used. So if you go into the Savannah region, you can get a lot of land very cheap, because when you compare the price in the Savannah region to the other regions, you know that it's so cheap. For example, Bono East region, that's the I have for Bono East region, you can get an acre. With farmlands, it's worth noting that we buy in acres, we don't buy in plots.
Okay,
Yes, we buy in plots when we are building, but when it comes to farmland, we buy in acres and hectares.
okay.
So a hectare is 4 acres, which is 16 plots of land. And an acre, yeah, a hectare is 4 acres. And an acre is 4 plots, and a hectare is 4 acres. I hope you get that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yes.
That's a lot to
Yes. Yes. So an acre, you're good. With an acre, you can start your feasibility studies to make sure you get it right before going in big. So, like I said, in the Bono East region, you can get an acre for 7,500 to 9,000, which is around $500 to $600. That's in the Bono East region. And also in the central region, you can get an acre around 6,000 cedis to 7,500, which is around $400 to $500. So the Ashanti region, yes, the Ashanti region, I think, is where we have the most expensive farmlands.
In the Ashanti region. Okay.
Yeah, where you can get an acre at 15,000 to 20,000, which is equivalent to $1,000 and $1,300. So it's not even that expensive. Looking at, what you're going to get from the land. So that's for crop production. I mean, it's a very good venture to look at. I would like to touch on. I know questions are coming. I'd like to touch on other aspects of farming
Okay.
when it comes to Ghana. Yeah, we have livestock, which is poultry. I'm sorry, piggery and cattle. With pig farming, pig is the most consumed meat globally. Second to
Really?
pork. Oh yes, pig is the most consumed. It's the Chinese favorites, pig. So there are plenty. So you can imagine they have the
I thought it was
population.
chicken.
No, pig.
Everybody eats chicken.
Yes, it's chicken is second. Pig is the most consumed. That's the most important meat for the Chinese. Pig meat is their chief meat.
Yeah, but
White meat.
are you saying since it's the most dominant meat for the Chinese, but that's not worldwide, is it?
No, even in the world, people love pig
Pork.
because
Wow.
because the fat, it actually digests very fast compared to
Okay.
the red meat, the cattle and the goats and all that. So
Wow.
so pork is white fat and chicken is also white. Rabbit is also white fat. It's actually digestible. It digests very fast.
Okay.
So so pork. I know a lot of people love to do piggery because of what they hear about piggery. With piggery, you need a sow and a boa, which is the male and the female to start. So when they meet, then within 4 months, you get your piglets. A pig can give birth to 12 to 15 piglets at a
Really?
go. Oh, yes. And we've had a pig in KNUST farm giving birth to 22 piglets before. 22
Wow.
piglets, yes. So when it comes to pig farming, what you have to know is your structure. That's where the cost will be. Because just imagine, you have to at least have 5 pigs in a room. So if you have, let's say, 20 piglets, it means you have to get 4 rooms. And it comes so fast. As they mate, they give birth and all that. So if you don't check, you don't control the birth rate and all, you might not get a place to keep your piglets. You might not get a place to keep your piglets. So it's very important you look at those aspects. If you have the structure, the rooms, then you can go into it. And also another thing about piggery is the market. There are a lot of fluctuations when it comes to you looking at people to come and buy your pigs, the live pigs. Because you might be ready to sell your pigs in June, and unfortunately, the market price per kilo would have dropped at the time. So you end up losing a lot of your investment. So if you
Wow.
really want to do piggery, I entreat you to look at processing, doing like processing the pork into sausages, having a restaurant where you can sell your pork, make money, roasting, frying, you're going to make times 3 of it. Because when you sell your live pork, those who go to roast, fry, and sell make like times 3 of what you will make as a farmer.
Really?
So oh yes. So if you,
So the
if
farmer
you do
makes
the
less than the restaurants?
less exactly, raw materials doesn't give you anything. It's just like crop production. The moment you export your raw materials without processing, it gives you nothing. Ghana produces cocoa, and at the end of the day, it comes back to us as chocolate. We buy it expensive, and the cocoa is not even that expensive when it's exported. So it's the same with piggery. And you have to process. When you process, you get more money, and you are not stressed with marketing. So it's very key when you want to do piggery, look at the processing. At least try and get yourself a small processing plant. And the feces, it can actually be used for gas. The pig feces, it can be used for gas,
Really?
and you wouldn't need. Oh yes, it can generate electricity for you on the farm.
Hey, let the the
Yes,
feces of the pig
biogas.
can be used as
Yes,
gas.
yes, biogas.
And that
Yeah.
one, I'm sure somebody's also cultivating that. And I say
Yes,
it's
yes.
not on the market as that yet.
No, 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 no. In Ghana, we don't have that on the market. But I mean, when you do that, you can have, yeah, biogas. You can have, you know, the feces turning into biogas, and you can use it as electricity on the farm without buying, electricity, paying for electricity.
On
Yes.
the farm.
On the farm, yeah.
Wow.
Yes. You don't have problems with doom so. You have your own, electricity for the farm. Yes. And
Okay.
yes, so we go a little bit into fish production.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, there's a lot of noise in Ghana when it comes to catfish. I'm sure our brothers and sisters in the diaspora have heard about catfish, and people are telling them, oh, point and kill is good, is booming. But trust me, if you don't take care and make your calculations well and make sure you have the market, your catfish will be ready and will not get anybody to buy it. That's the
Wow.
truth. Yes. So most of the people who are doing catfish production have the point and kill, spots where the people come there, choose, and they kill it. It's very popular in Ghana now, in the high streets of Accra, Kumasi, and all that. So is the point and kill. So I mean, people are doing it with the catfish. But if you don't make those provisions and you go into catfish and you think there's market, you'll be wrong. You'll be wrong. So when it comes to fish, you have to look at all those things before going into it. Yes. So with crop production, with poultry, with livestock, everything, you have to make sure you have your market. It's very important, or
So are
else
you
you'll be
saying
frustrated.
when you say you have to have your market, are you saying do your research as to who you're going to be selling to, who you're going to be
Exactly.
exporting? Are you
Exactly.
that?
Exactly.
You cannot
Exactly.
start the farming and then after no, I feel
No,
about
no,
the
no, no,
research.
no.
You
Yes.
okay?
That will stress you a lot.
Okay.
Just imagine your
Okay.
your your fish is ready and you now looking for market. You will not even
Okay.
take care of the fish well. So
Yes.
it's a challenge for a lot of farmers. They go in
Okay.
without looking for the market, and when they are done, they are just frustrated. And people end to buy it very cheap because you're already frustrated, and people can give you anything they want because the fish is eaten, and the fish meals are very expensive. So you just want to let it go.
Wow.
And those are the experiences people have, and they don't want to even talk about agric or talk about farming. But when you do it
So what
well,
about some regulations? Are there any regulations with all these things? Like, send me free. I'm a Ghana, but I started all these things. I have, paperwork and me here. So is there any regulations that's like regulating what you're feeding these animals or your
no, no,
products?
no, no,
Like,
no, no,
is there
no.
any regulation?
There's no
Huh?
regulations. Ghana is an
There's no
open
regulations.
market.
They do
No,
do whatever you want. And
do
then
what
the
you
mama
want.
bunny piano
Your person, yeah. Some people, some people
Okay.
even
Yeah,
give
whoa.
cassava and pawpaw to pigs. They give them anything.
Hey.
But that's not a good way of growing. Because if you really want to get the kilos at a very short time, you have to make sure you have healthy, pigs. You have to make sure you have healthy fish. So you can't just give them everything. You have to give them nutritious stuff so that they will grow very fast. You get it? So that's with fish. So let's talk
Okay.
about cattle.
Okay.
With cattle production, which is beef, it's lucrative. But the biggest challenge with cattle in Ghana is security.
Security.
Yes, those caretakers can easily plot with robbers and thieves, and they steal that cattle, and they'll tell you that some people came to steal it and all that. So yeah, 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 yeah. So if you want to, yeah, if you want to, it's happening a lot. I've experienced that a lot with my clients. So if you really want to do that, make sure your security is intact because cattle is expensive in Ghana. You can buy one big cow at 12,000, 15,000 cedis, which is like $1,000. You know, yeah. So just make sure if you are doing the business, you make sure your security is in place. I don't mind employing the services of the Ghana police to be on my ranch because you are making money. You are making big money. Trust me. You are
Now,
making big money.
Mepacho,
Mhm.
who's still Crawford will plot to steal Nantri, you know?
Yeah.
Abua Kakraka will say, how do you steal it?
You, Abaya, do you know Aboboya?
The deal, I don't
Oh,
say
you
it
might
there.
bro. You know, some small, you know,
Motorbike now,
as a tricycle with
okay.
some buckets. You know, they can put 3 cattle in it. Like you'll be shocked. The cattle will just be lying down like they've given the
Ah,
cattle
onye
some
dede.
onyete or them ding. So you cannot trust those people. I don't know what they do to the cattle. The full animals. They can talk to the cattle actually. You might not believe. They will follow them. So if you want to, yeah, I always recommend intensive system for cattle or semi-intensive. You know, you make sure you have them enclosed, you know, where you can get them protected with fence and all that. And you'll be doing great business. Just imagine having 50 cattle, 100 cattle. It's real business. You know, you buy these cows, the little cattle from the north, Salaga and all those areas for like as cheap as 800, 700 cedis. You get, and that's like equivalent to $50.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and you take care of them for like a year, and you end up sending them $1,000. And mind you, cattle eat just grass. They don't eat
Wow.
any extra. Oh yeah, they don't eat any extra.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
sure. So they eat only grass. Ah, it be a Ghana no eat
no,
grass,
no.
but I had the only maize near idea from me and
Oh,
then
normally no. Oh, no. We are blessed with vegetation, so people just there's a lot of you know vegetative cover around, so they just move, they chew, just make sure they don't spoil people's farms.
okay.
Yes, and there's I mean little vitamins here and there. The cattle is actually resilient. Onye abua 1 2 no area. You know, they are strong animals.
Okay.
So with the cattle, if you want to go into cattle and people, make sure your security is tight.
Okay.
So yes. So we go into my specialty, what I call the white gold, poultry production.
Poultry.
Yes, I call broilers the white gold
Okay.
because it's so lucrative in Ghana.
Really?
But yes, but people don't really want to hear anything agri. They don't want to hear anything farming. I've been doing this for almost a decade, and trust me, it's really lucrative.
Tell us
So when it
about it.
comes to
Tell us all about poultry farming.
yes, so when it comes to poultry farming, we have 2 ways. We have the layer production and we have the broiler production. With the layer production, you keep the day-old chicks. Mind you, these day-old chicks, we fly them from Holland, Belgium to Ghana. It's funny. We
Wow.
yes, and no day-old chicks, you know, we took quite from Ghana.
And
Because
Kukono.
yes, because you know, local hatcheries are not really equipped, and if you do the local birds, you might end up losing a lot of your stock because they are not resilient to diseases. There's an injection we call the Merrick. They inject the chicks outside in America and Belgium, Holland, and they become very resilient to diseases. These chicks can go 3 days without eating and they will not die. So you can imagine.
Aye,
So they come
approaching Kukono.
abotire nkokɔ no, the day old chicks no, ya hatch omo day no, omo bo omo sa panye na 3 days they can stay up without eating. They are very strong. But when it comes to our local hatcheries, far local birds, you do it at your own risk.
Wait there, wait
So
there,
we
wait there,
get
wait there. But
yes,
sometimes
so
I have a little bit of a concern there. And yeah,
uh-huh.
your local ones, no, much better because it's from
Okay,
the
so
soil. It's healthier. No?
no, no. When we talk about the day old chicks, you're talking about efiakokono. Efiakokono there is not for commercial purpose.
Okay.
When we are talking about commercial purpose, we are talking about broilers
Okay.
and layers. Yes,
Okay.
as for the homegrown chicken, the different, you know, it's just
Category.
yes, it's just a group of people, you know, type of chicken. No. I know the Okoya Ababaka because no one will buy, few people will buy, but we are looking at commercial, you know, like cockroach too. You can't raise cockroach for commercial, you know, purposes. So with a layer production, let's go into layer production. You have to raise your birds from day old. No, you feed them till they are 5 to 6 months before they start laying and they peak. So you feed them from day old to 5 to 6 months before they peak. When we talk about peaking, is 80 to 90% lay. So it means if you have 1,000 birds, 800 to 900 birds should be laying every day.
Wow.
That's with the layers. Yes, your powerhouse should be laying every day. And the good thing about chicken is uncle wedding. They be over 12 you know. Yes, you know. So I mean, it's a good venture when it comes to the eggs and all that. People asking questions, please. We'll take questions very
Yes.
soon. Yeah.
We'll take questions very soon. How many
Yeah, we'll
how
take
many
questions.
chickens does one need does a person need in order to start the poultry farming?
Okay, I'll come to that. I'll come to that very
Okay.
soon. I'll come to that very soon. So with the layer production, you hold the birds for 1.5 years, and they are sold out as spent layers. Those brown birds, and on Ghana man, soup on the pad. They like it because it's hard, you know, because they've spent some time at the farm. So most of the times they have tough meat and all that. So that's the layer, and they produce eggs. So you get eggs every day. But the challenge when it comes to poultry production is the biosecurity. If you don't take your biosecurity very seriously, you have a lot of sicknesses. People sometimes think that poultry there, akoko there, yare, unsure, you might end up losing every bird you have and all that. I've done poultry for over 8 years, getting to 10 years, and trust me, those things never happen when you have a good biosecurity in place, because all those, you know, sicknesses are as a result of people going to other farms to bring it to your farm. So when your farm is welled, when you have a foot bath where people can, you know, rinse their feet, wash their cars before entering the farm, you will have a disease-free farm. Yes, a disease-free farm. So that's a bit about layer production. But what I really love, broiler production. Broilers, you take just 2 months to raise broilers. From day old, 8 weeks, you are selling your broilers. So in a year, you can go like 6 rounds, and that's a lot of money. You'll be making a lot of money in a year. Yes, 6 rounds. So I always recommend a lot of people get into broiler production. That's what I call the white gold. So in 6 months, you can go for 3 rounds. In a year, you can go for 6 rounds because you have 12 months. 2 months, the chicken is ready to be consumed.
Wow.
Even in the US and Canada and some countries, they even raise it for just a month. That's what we call the boneless chicken. You know, you don't
Oh,
really,
okay.
yes, for just a month. So the meat is not tough, you know, it's so soft and all that, very tender. So with a broiler production, that's the focus for Ghana right now. And the good thing is government is really interested in going into a lot of broiler production because in Ghana, we import 80 to 90% of our poultry. It's shameful. 80 to 90% of our poultry, our broilers, are imported from, you know, US, from Canada, from all those countries, and they're actually dumped on us because those mostly those poultry are the buffer stock. So they freeze it, they put on the fridge, they put it off, they put it on, they put it off, and it's not really healthy. So they just dump it in Africa. And Ghana is happy to sell these birds. and it's sad. When you talk about when people, some of the people who may say we cannot produce for our mass population and all that, that's not true. Nigeria has over 300 million people, and Nigeria doesn't import any poultry product into Nigeria. Right now, poultry in Nigeria is a big thing. It's next to oil, yes, because the government at that time, President Olusegun Obasanjo, he was able to ban the importation of poultry products into Nigeria. At the time, the Chamber of Commerce was importing billions of dollars into the country. And right now, if you go to Nigeria, the poultry value chain, we have people growing just maize in silos and all that just for the poultry farms, and they are millionaire in dollars. We have people doing hatcheries just to hatch the chicken. They are not even part of the farming thing. They are millionaire in dollars. We have people who buy the ready chicken from the farmers, sell to cold stores, package in their own brands, and they are making a lot of money. So poultry in Nigeria is booming. You can ask anybody in Nigeria. We have different kinds of poultry in Nigeria. I mean the brands, and everybody is selling. So Ghana, this is the time. I always say this is the time, since government is so interested in poultry production. If you are going to do broiler, and the funny thing is with poultry, you don't need an extraordinary size of land. With an acre of land, you can do 10,000 birds.
What?
Yes, 10,000 birds. With an acre of land, you can do 10,000 birds.
Wow.
Everything I tell you about poultry is something we just tried and tested. I have a 10,000 capacity farm. It's on an acre of land. Yes, one of my farms is
Wow.
10,000. It's an acre of land. You don't waste land when it comes to poultry. But with the challenge with crop production, you always have to get more land. You always have to get more land. You always have to get more land. And mind you, the price that you buy the land might increase. Even when they see that your business is booming, they might not even want to give you, at the same price again. But with poultry, if you get 2 acres, you know that you'll be able to raise 20,000 birds. And that's a lot of,
20,000.
yes, 2 acres, that's 20,000 birds. That's a lot. And people will be so excited to hear about the math when it comes to
Yes.
poultry.
Yes.
Yes, when it comes to poultry.
Let the math do the
Yeah.
mathing, because
Yes, with the broiler production, what I'm saying that you can do it in 2 months. You have your broilers off the farm selling to make your money. You can have a 60 by 40 feet house. That's the pen. It can take 1,000 capacity, 1,000 birds. So as a starter for commercial purpose, I entreat you to go in for 1,000 birds as a starter. 1,000 birds, the structure will cost you around 54,798, which is
54.
equivalent to cities, 54,798, which is equivalent to $3,650. $3,650. So logistics. When we talk about logistics, you're talking about your automatic drinkers, your installations, your feeders. You have to dig a well with a tank, overhead tank, and your generator. We are not messing up. You can't rely on Ghana electricity. So you have to get a generator on the farm, at least 240 watts, because when the birds come, you have to put light on them because they have no feathers. So that's what we call the brooding stage. You have to put light on them for like a week for the feathers to start developing. If you don't have light, you might end losing all your stock. So you must have light on the farm at all times. And
Wow.
with the broilers, we call them the ad libs. They eat 24 hours. 24 hours eating, drinking, eating, drinking. That's how come you can sell in 2 months.
Wow.
And trust me, you're going to make your money back. So in 8 weeks, the challenge in poultry production in Ghana is the feed cost. Like I was telling you, maize prices are so high in Ghana, and we use like 60% of maize in poultry production. So you have that effect. So the feed cost is very, high. But I always recommend that when you are doing 1,000 birds, we have ready prepared feed on the market from Sankofa, Kujis, Agricare. We have ready prepared feed. Oh, sorry.
We've lost our guest, I believe. Am I the only one who isn't able to see him at the moment?
Hello.
Hi, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Yeah,
hear
can you
you.
hear me?
Yes, we
Okay, look,
can.
so as I was talking
Oh,
about right now, we have look. So
oh.
I was actually using my Wi-Fi. So when it got off, yes,
Okay.
but we can still
Doom
talk.
so.
Yeah, I'm
Excuse
sure we'll
us.
come back.
Our viewers, our sincere apologies. Of
Yes,
course, our dear brother is in Ghana. We've lost electricity, but we can hear him. So please
yes,
continue.
yes. So I'm sure we'll come back very soon.
Mhm.
So
Thank you, Nana Akosia
when you look at
Friye. Okay, we lost you again, but if you can.
oh, I can hear you. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay. So the logistic aspect I spoke about and the generator and all that. So the feed cost is also another bit where you can have a lot of money going to the feed. So if you're doing 1,000 capacity farm, a 2,000 capacity farm, to let's say 3,000, I recommend you buy ready prepared feed because when you do the cost benefit analysis, you can't really make a lot of money when you prepare your own feed because of the transportation cost of transporting maize, soya, and all those things. So when you have a poultry farm of below 3,000 capacity, it's best you buy ready prepared feed. Okay, my lights are back.
A beautiful country, our beautiful
Yes, a
country,
country
Ghana.
called Ghana.
Okay.
It is well. So my viewers can see the importance for a generator, like I spoke about. You can't get this on your farm, you can't be experiencing this on your farm. Your birds might die out of stampede. They'll be running helter skelter and it won't be good for you.
Wow.
So it's a good lesson. Lesson well
Yes.
learned. So we on our math. So with the logistics too, you spend like 31,025 cedis, which is equivalent to $2,000. So putting your farm together with poultry, land acquisition is never a problem because and mind you, it's always good to have your poultry farm in the Bruno region, the Ahafo, Bruno East, Ashanti region, and sometimes Greater Accra because all the farms are there. So in terms of logistics, your vaccines and all that, you will not struggle. But if you take your poultry farm to Savannah, you'll be the only one there and you will struggle when it comes to feed, when it comes to all those logistics, because the demand and supply. When people are not there, the suppliers will not come there. So please, when you want to do poultry production, look at Ashanti region, look at the Western region, look at the Bronga Hafa region, and probably Greater Accra region. That's if you have a family land in Greater Accra region. But if you tend to buy lands in Greater Accra region, I've already advised you on that. So with the feed cost and the vaccine, the vitamins, the antibiotics, the labor, and the miscellaneous expenses for 1,000 broilers is 100,000 cedis, which is equivalent to 100,000 cedis to the USD. Right now, there is 15 cedis, so you can do the math. Yeah, you can do the math. And after sales, with 1,000 beds, I always recommend that in the math, a day old chick sells at 33 cedis. Yeah, so I always recommend to our clients that they buy 1,050 beds so that you are very sure of your 1,000 beds you are selling at the end of the season because we have mortality. you can experience 2 to 4% mortality. If you do your brooding very well, they don't die like that. So we check at least 5% mortality so that you will have your stock intact. So that, I mean, your calculations will not go bad. So with 1,000 birds, you can sell at 150 cedis per bird, which is equivalent to 150,000 cedis when you sell the 1,000 birds, which translates to like $10,000. So
Wow.
yes, so you'll be making 50,000 cedis on each batch, which is 1,000 birds. So just imagine having 2,000 birds, 5,000 birds at a go. You can imagine the money you are making.
Yes.
And the profit is like $3,333 for just one batch, 1,000 birds as a starter. So if you are making as a starter 1,000 birds, you are making $3,333. If you are going for 5 rounds, let's say you are tired, you can't go for 6 rounds in a year. If you are going for 5 rounds, you are making 250,000 cedis, which is 50,000 times 5. That's 5 rounds, which is 250,000 cedis. This is your profit. You've done all your expenses, you've paid labor, everything. So 250,000 cedis divided by 15. You can do the math. Even 150,000 is $10,000. So you can do the math. That's your profit alone. So you're gonna make a lot
Wow.
of money. Yes, that's around over $15,000.
Wow.
Yes, for 1,000 birds. So with the poultry, it's very lucrative, and this is the
Mhm.
time. Yeah, this is the time. It's good to
Wonderful.
venture into poultry. Yeah, it's good to. Oh, someone said the math is matching here. That's nice. Yeah, so I think basically we can take questions. I mean, it will
Yes,
help us
I
to
think we should
interact
take
more.
some questions.
Yes.
We have some Kofi is Fori Floyd said, how much does it cost to operate a small fruit orchid or orchard in Ghana? Like, a few acres. And is it necessary to build a fence wall around the farmland?
Okay. So, please pardon me, my light is out again, but
It's
you
okay.
can hear me perfectly. So with the crop production, you don't need to fence your farm, because I mean, with the plants, they are not really, you might not really get diseases coming from people. If there's anything, it will be pests who fly. So the fence will not do anything for you. You get it? It will not do anything for you. So you have to invest the fencing to getting more, land for production. And like we rarely stated, if you are buying land as cheap as 500 cedis, which is $35, you can start your crop production. You don't need much. You just need trusted people to take care of your farm for you, and you are good.
Nice.
Yes, so that's it.
And I guess Obri Hene says, when will Asian countries like Dubai get TapTap wallet? Okay, we'll get back to that in a second. And when, as soon as we're done with this segment with our dear brother, we'll definitely hop onto the questions for TapTap Send. So Lydia Bafor, please, how can I become a TapTap Send ambassador? Sister Lydia, hang on. As soon as we're done with this segment, we will definitely get back to you on all this, on how to become an ambassador. Where do you reside? Someone wants to know. Dear brother is in Ghana, precisely. I'm not sure where exactly he.
I'm in Ghana. I'm in the Ashanti region, and I'm
Okay,
a poultry consultant. Yes.
wonderful. He is an
Yeah.
expert in this area. Kojo says, what about the Western? I guess Western, what about the Eastern region? I guess it's relating to the land or the farming.
Oh yeah, Western and Eastern region are fine for farming as well. Yeah,
Please,
they
I
are
would
fine.
love to become a top time. Okay, we'll talk about that, Sister Lydia. Don't worry. We will connect you with our director as soon as we are done with this segment. Mr. Kofi Floyd said, I am a diasporan in the USA and I want to grow fruit trees. How
Okay.
much does it cost to run a farm? I am thinking about buying a small fruit orchard and having a few employees run the orchard for me. Are we required to build a fence? Okay, we already answered that. It's not
Yeah, we've
necessary, we
answered that.
said. Biogas. I guess someone is already aware of biogas.
Yeah.
Nana Kusia Friye is very knowledgeable about that. Someone said it's same as human excrete. Okay. Um, excuse me.
Sorry.
It says Ghana practices free range farming. Is that so?
Mhm. Oh, it depends. It depends. Someone said that it is unbelievable.
What did you say?
Yeah. Someone said the 500 cities land is unbelievable.
It's very unbelievable
Yeah,
because
actually, everything I say here is things I know. I have men out there. I have people in the savannah region. And if you are ready, we can link you to them and you get your land. So, I mean, all these things are trusted people. Trusted people. And if you have people in the north, they will tell you land in the north is very cheap. It's
wow,
very cheap. Yes. Volta region too is good for farming. Somebody asked about Volta region. Volta
nice.
region is good for farming, but I don't have any connections in Volta region. I spoke about the regions I know about.
Wonderful. Sister Joyce says about irrigation farming. How can you
Mhm.
pump the water from the main source, like river or borehole, without electricity? Is that possible?
They actually use generators. Most of the
Okay.
times they use generators because you use the pressure pumps. So
Okay.
as and when you need to do it, most of the times these crops are watered early in the morning and late evening, around the twilight. So you put on your generator, you pump it after you put it off. Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, you need a generator to do that.
Our dear sister, it says, Blessed is she said. Couple of questions here. Please, do you have to cure the land to start farming, or it depends? If so, what are the options for curing the land for farming? Number two, can you please mix breed poultry like guinea fowls and chicken or not? Third question is guinea fowls difficult to care for? Can I get any contact information from the speaker? Thanks for your service. All right, that was a whole lot, but I guess it's about interbreeding the poultries.
Yeah.
Is it possible? Is it legal?
Yeah, it's not possible to merge guinea fowl with poultry. Even with layers and broilers, you can't do that. Talk about guinea fowl and poultry because you have some diseases on guinea fowl which would affect the poultry. And even if you have a poultry farm close to a guinea fowl farm, it will be a problem.
Oh
Yes, because
wow.
guinea fowl is very robust when it comes to diseases. They fly around, they go everywhere, And somebody was asking that Ghana does free range system. We have intensive system as well. It's legal. You can do intensive system, you can do free range, you can do semi-intensive. It's legal here. Yes, most of the farms do legal. Rabbits. Okay, someone asked about rabbits. Rabbits is a lucrative venture, but with the market, I'm not so sure about it. Because just imagine how many people eat rabbits in Ghana. You
I know,
know,
right? Do people even actually eat rabbit?
yeah, they do. Because rabbit is actually healthy. But I always talk about things being, I look at the commercial purpose, like commercial. I'm never, looking at doing something few people love.
Okay.
If you're doing poetry, you must do business. You get it. You must do business. So rabbit is a bit of a challenge. You might not get a lot of people buying rabbits unless you have the market for it.
For
Then
it.
I can recommend. Yes. Somebody asked if there's really market for poultry broilers in Ghana. There is. I actually have a company which markets poultry. I have an outgrower scheme where I have farmers on. They produce for me as well to support my production because I can't do it alone.
Okay.
And I have processing. I have a processing plant where I process and sell these, dressed birds to offices, to restaurants, hotels, and all that. So it's a lot of work. You should get your reefer vans, and if you want to look into production of broilers and on large scale, you have to look at processing because you have to make sure you cut your parts into the breast, the thighs, and all that.
Mm.
So that somebody asked about goats. Goat is very lucrative, but with goats, it's not really for commercial. You can have it's seasonal. Normally, people buy a lot of goats when it comes to Idul Fitr, Idul Adha, Christmas, and all those
Hey,
times.
really? And yeah,
Oh
come on,
yes.
they are punching on the area wow.
Oh, okay, okay.
And
Even with the
Tigana is not
Idul,
like that. And our
yeah,
beef
I think
is
even with the
more.
Idul Adha and all, they don't buy goats. I think they buy sheep and cattle.
Oh,
So
lamb.
goats is mostly, I mean, Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to do it year round, like I said, you should get your market. Get people who really want goats. Don't go into it hearing that people are saying it's lucrative. That's a problem with the farmers. They go into it because people tell them, "Oh, it's lucrative. Go into it," and they go into it and they realize that they can't find a market.
Okay.
So make sure you get your market first.
Let's
Yeah.
get some people's questions here before we go and
Okay.
unmute. So the next question is from Roxanne Consult. It says, Deputy Minister for Agric, always smiling when he gets to his farm. Okay. Nana Kosia Friye, my greatest problem in Ghana is finding the genuine people to team up with.
Okay.
Yes, that's a problem. All to do with doing your research first. Mr. John
Yeah.
Ransford said, "Is there a readily available market for the broiler birds? And if so, can you share some of the companies that buy them?"
Okay. Right now you don't get companies buying it. You have to go in there, get your market. Like I was saying, I have a whole company on the marketing for broilers, where they go into institutions, supply them households. We do all these things. During the Christmas, we're supplying to households, institutions. They buy for their staff and all that. So you have to find the market. And mind you, people really want it, but when it comes to the convenience, that's the challenge. When it comes to the chicken, the local chicken, people don't want to buy the live chicken, kill them, and all that. And these women who do that in the markets, they don't do it healthy. One water, they'll be using it for like 20 birds. You get it? So when you get people like us doing the right thing, people appreciate it and they love to buy from us. So you can look at that, the processing part.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wonderful to hear. Bryce said, if I have the capital, do you have farms that I can invest in? And would you advise getting people to farm for you while you're away?
Oh,
So if
as
he
for the
has the capital,
investment,
he's looking for somebody to invest in, right?
no problem. We can talk about that, later. You can get my contact. We can talk about that later. But with poultry, I would not advise anybody to, if you don't have a trusted person, you can't just leave your poultry farm to anybody.
Yeah.
Because yes, but with the crops, with other crops, you can. With the
Okay.
maize, you can just be somewhere remote and have your
I
farm.
don't go no be
Oh yes, oh
Na na
yes.
na
We
na
still
na crops ne de mu ya.
crops. No, once your seasons are harvested,
Okay.
so you can't really take them unless there's a
Okay.
season to harvest. But with the chicken, they can steal the chicken, they can steal the feed, they can steal everything. You know, and with the I forgot to add, the chicken feces is fertilizer. It's
Okay.
it's it's wow. When you put it on crops, it does wonders. So just imagine having a poultry farm and doing crops as well.
As
When you put
well.
it under your crop, somebody asked about the farm. Do you have to do something to the soil before? It depends. If it's a place where there's been sand winning, where they've taken the topsoil for other purposes, you can put the poultry feces there for some time, and it becomes nutritious again. You
Okay.
know, yeah, for you to grow your crops. Yeah.
Mr. Bright says, if I okay, we answered that. Lucy, the 500 Ghana for 4 plots for land, honestly, unbelievable. Can you kindly specify which particular part of Savannah is selling land for that price? Seriously, we all want to know, Miss Lucy. Can you 500 Ghana? I guess when we're looking for our farmland, we'll reach out to you for $500
Oh yeah.
4 plots. Do you have trusted people to link up to help start a poultry farm? I guess he
Oh
himself is the consultant,
yes,
so
yes.
for
So
sure he'll be able
yeah.
to. Um, Odilia says, what do you recommend for the Volta region?
Okay. Volta
Regarding
region.
land, or I'm not sure what it's regarding to, but
Yeah, Volta region. There's a lot of crop farming in Volta region. Granite. I know there's granite farms. Granite too is very lucrative. You know, they export granite. It's very lucrative. Yes,
okay.
granites and all that. Somebody asking. I read the Lands Act when I started. I think some people just joined. He was asking whether you lease it or you buy it. The Lands Act, the Land Act 2020 at 1036, which is the Land Act governing, all these transactions. It states in section 22 that when you're buying a poultry farm or a cereal farm, you cannot have it for more than 25 years. And when you are buying for a crop production, ranch or timber construction production, you cannot own it for more than 50 years. So there's legislations. So you cannot buy it perpetually. You can't own interest in land perpetually in Ghana. You can't.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sure it's everywhere. With normal land, you can have 99 years. The building land, you can have 99 years. But with the farmland, like poultry, cereals, the Land Act makes it very clear. You can have it for 25 years. But when it comes to tree crops, you can have it for 50 years. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I think at this time we'd like to hear some of our guests, the viewer's voice. So we're
Sure,
gonna go
sure.
ahead and unmute, and so that instead of me reading these questions, let's get some of your input. So I have iPhone. iPhone, you have your hands raised. I'm not sure if you can unmute and ask your question. If not, we'll go to our dear Fatih. Fatih, you can unmute and ask your question, please.
Hello.
Oh, iPhone. Yes, go ahead. Please, your name and where you are calling from.
My name's Amos. I'm calling from New York.
Nice to meet you, Amos.
Same to you. Thanks for our guest, speaking about the poultry farm. Um, you mentioned it's very, very important. Like, if you don't want to be away from the poultry, where are you doing that in Ghana? It's very, very important. The workers are not trusted, and you'll be losing the money quick as much as the calculation was going. Another thing also I mentioned is you're talking about broilers and all stuff. You're doing all this calculation. By the end of the day, you finish and it's ready to buy. The buyers will toss you and we'll give you this price. We weigh it 2 pounds for this and that. At the end of it, you calculate it, you're not making any money at all. So the problem is the buyers also is a problem because when they see that there's a need for you to sell your brothers and you don't want to keep them long because you got to feed them too. So that's also the problem in Ghana. They don't think about that. You can make all this calculation, but when it come to market, it's not like here that you have a lot of people, like buying or stuff. It's a few people over there that are buying the broilers and all those things, but they are gonna frustrate you. It's not making you like you're wasting your money. So
Okay.
the poultry
Yeah.
farm is good as you mentioned it. I've been there. I started like a 6,000, and
Okay.
like I said, the workers are not helping at all, and
Yeah.
you don't want to leave it to them and come here and stay here and back and front. They will steal and they will it's like every day they tell you, oh, we make this product,
Sorry.
we make this product, and
Yeah.
if we calculate it, and the feed in Ghana is not cheap at all. Look at this now.
Yeah.
One bag is 400. And the
Thank you
money
so
that
much.
you put in it is not easy. So I
Yeah.
advise my
Thank you.
fellow, people abroad to be open-minded. If you don't
Yeah.
want to be stay in Ghana, don't start it
Yeah.
unless you're there.
Yeah. Thank you so
Okay.
much for your input.
Yeah, so Baya, let me touch on a little on what he said. I actually mentioned that, like he was saying, he's been frustrated. because he wasn't getting people to buy his broilers. I mentioned earlier, not even with broilers alone, with farming in Ghana, you have to make sure you get your market before you do it. Because I have the market. I've been doing this for over 8 years. You get it? Because
Yes.
I made sure I get the market before going into the production. And the market is there. If you rely on the market woman, I'm sure he was relying on the market woman to come for his birds, you know. But if you rely on them, they will disappoint you. They will give you any price, like I was saying earlier. So you have to make sure you get a market. And he should have gotten a consultant as well. It's
Mm.
very key. It's very key. People like us, like he's saying, we can help you manage your farm even when you are not here.
Okay.
You know, though it comes at a price, but it's value for money. I always say we're gonna check the farm, the workers. We're gonna make sure they do the right thing, because it's something we know the corners, how they steal the chicken,
Mm.
all those things, and we make sure that we tell them that they will be arrested. We make sure they sign contracts. If the birds are 1,000, I'm everything I'm saying, I've had experiences with it. I've actually sent my workers, the whole staff, to the police station, locked them up before. So
Wow.
I actually get it. Yeah. So when it comes to poultry, a lot of people don't want to hear about it because it's very dicey. That's if you don't have a consultant. When I was starting poultry, I had a consultant and I made sure I did things right. I
Mm-hmm.
have no agri background. I did economics. So just imagine, I just loved poultry. I had a passion, and I made sure I did the right thing by getting a consultant.
Nice.
So yeah, so please, everybody who wants to do it, make sure you get a consultant.
Thank you
Yes.
for that. All right,
Yeah.
Miss Fati, go ahead and ask your question, please.
Thank you, Abba. Unfortunately, I came in late. I was doing something and I remembered I had to rush. I'm really a fan of farming. I love farming. I
Nice.
was once upon a time the regional youth director for Bono region.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
So I went
Nice.
into coconut farming, I went into
Okay.
pineapple farming, I went into cassava farming. And I must say, if you are starting farming and you don't have concrete or trusted people to handle it, forget it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Forget it, because I went into pineapple farming thinking that I can get more suckers and at the end of the day engage more young people or the youth into commercial farming. And at the end of the day, it was an eyesore. And thinking about market, before I started the farming, I was advised to start on 1 acre. And I must tell you, I went with the technical men to even test the soil. The regional agric extension officers from Sunyani to go and test the soil. And I had a contract with Kumasi. You know, Kumasi, on your way to Obuasi, there's a
Hmm.
new juice factory there.
Okay.
uh, Consultant, sorry, I don't even know your name because I came in late.
I'm Samuel. Samuel
Samuel, yes,
Adedako.
I mean,
Yeah.
so there's a juice factory there. We went to see the professor. We all agree. I have pictures on them on my phone right
Mm-hmm.
now. And he
Mm-hmm.
said, okay, go ahead when you do the panel because we want more art growers. And I said, okay, since I'm a regional director, if I go into the farming, definitely I will encourage more young people by giving them sockets for free. Then we will go to the district assemblies and get more lands for free for the young people to go into commercial farming. At the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, when the pineapples were ready, that is the smooth cayenne, that's the sweet one.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up by telling her, they are not ready, their machine is down. I cried. I had to
Oh.
Oh.
use my office pickup and I started being a seller in the market.
Oh.
Patrick, did you have a
You
contract
go
with
and
them?
harvest the pineapple from the farm, put it in the pickup, and we started selling it to juice sellers, to many restaurants. And you know, one of our colleagues was saying something about market women. They are killers.
Yes,
They
yes.
are killers. I
Yeah, it's
must
true.
say, I have all the pictures. I can send it on the platform. Look,
Yo,
the
Patrick, so a
pineapple,
quick
the
one.
big ones,
Patrick, did you
they
did
will
you have a
select it and say,
contract
oh, wait,
with
wait,
them?
wait, wait, sister, wait, sister.
Madam Fati,
Yes.
now a contract with
Contract,
anybody.
yeah.
Yeah. I
So
went
you
with
should
my
have
colleague, the regional director
so
for
you should have sued them. Madam Fati, you should have sued them. That's
You
a
see?
frustration of contract. Oh, you should
The
have
thing
sued
is,
them.
we have different kinds of contracts. We have written contracts and we have math
No, it
contracts.
should have been written.
Written
That's
contract is always
parallel.
standing.
What
Yes.
they did to me, they frustrated me. If you go to the land now, you go and see some of the suckers still on the land.
Oh,
That's
it's too
Oh.
why
bad.
I'm asking. You see, I'm so frustrated in this farming business, and I
I
love it.
know.
2 days ago, I even sent a consultant again, a young guy all the way from Accra, to go inspect the land. He said we should go into coconut farming. Could you believe that through Akosia Menu, I had thousand seedlings of coconut, hybrid from Koforidia. We took when they brought us the seedling. Do you know when they brought it? During Hamatan. I put all the seedling in my office and I went to buy water hose to be watering it with my pipe.
Wow. That's
By
what I
the
was talking
time
about
it was rainy
irrigation.
season, all the seedlings died. I started
Wow.
dashing some out for people to grow it in their
So, Baya, you
houses.
see, I was talking about irrigation farming
Yes.
because, yeah, her seedlings came during the Hamatan and she couldn't really
I
grow
couldn't
them.
manage it.
Exactly. But if you have the irrigation in place, you can have your crops any day, anytime. So that's a challenge. If
So,
you want to go
Sammy,
into
my
crop
question
farming.
now is, can I get partners so that we will go? Because I don't want to do this thing alone anymore. Can I get
Okay.
partners, trusted partners that we all bring our resources together, then we'll handle it? And they say, "Go and yemi nkwana meboka." Seriously, yes. Because I even
We'll
wanted to
talk
go
about
into
that.
hydroponic farming because I love farming. You see,
Vivacho,
Yeah.
what state are you from, Miss
I
Madame
mean,
Fati?
I'm in New Jersey,
New
US, New
Jersey.
Jersey. Yes.
Okay. And thank you so much for
Thank you.
expressing so well of your concerns.
Yeah.
I'm sure Sami will, reach out to Sami. I believe he
Yeah.
will drop his
Sammy, could you
contact
please
and
put your contact there so that I can chat to you so that we know the way for it?
Okay.
Because I'm from Kumasi too.
Sure,
You
no
okay.
see,
problem.
yes,
No
I'm from
Wonderful.
problem.
Thank
Kumasi.
you, Madame
Please put
Fati.
your number there and let me
All
Okay.
right.
chat to you
Mr.
later. Thank you.
John Rensford, you've had your hands up. Please go ahead and ask your questions. Let's try and ask in a timely manner so the time, does not beat
All
us today.
right. Good evening, the organizers
Good
of
Good
this
evening.
event,
evening.
and
Please,
thank you so
which
much.
state are you calling from, Mr.
I'm in
John?
I'm in Massachusetts.
Oh, wonderful.
All
Okay.
right. Thank you so much, the organizers of this event, and thank you, Samuel, for your words of encouragement and also making sure that your brothers and sisters back abroad will succeed. I'm a poultry farmer myself.
Oh,
Nice.
Whatever
nice.
that Samuel is saying is true. It works.
Nice.
I got into if you want to go into farming in Ghana, one thing I'll tell you is that you have to do your research. You don't go into it by hearsay. People say, oh, this is
Yeah.
good. You go, and then there are people that are so hungry that they'll just pounce on you. They'll say sweet things to you, and then they'll just take your money. In a few days, boom.
Hmm.
I started when, even getting the land, people took my money. And at
Wow.
the end of the day, I came back empty-handed. So
Oh.
going back again, I learned a lot of lessons. I stepped back
Mhm.
and I learned my lessons, learned my mistakes. So going forward, I procured the land, about 11-acre land in somewhere in Offenso area, because I
Okay.
was born raised in Ashanti region. And I said,
Okay.
I want to go into poultry. When you are getting into it, start small. If you think that you have the money, so you want to go big, people think
Mhm.
that you have the money. So they are also ready. So
Hmm.
I started small with like 1,500 bed. And within
Okay.
2 years, I have almost like 10,000 bed. And that's doing
Wow.
great. You have to have time. You cannot be sending your money back home without doing a follow-up. For me, every 2 months, I'm in Ghana. And I go there without even telling them. He was talking about getting a consultancy to help you with that. Because you are here, you are busy going up and down. So what I
Yeah.
did was that I had one person who was a very trusted person, even though I didn't trust him that much because of what I went through. And I got a consultant and then got another
Yeah.
HR company in Ghana. So the HR was doing my HR work for me. The consultant was just going there every day to check that these guys are working. Every week,
Mhm.
they'll just go there. The money, some people will look at the money. This guy is charging me this amount of money.
Exactly.
And what is he even doing? But I pay the money. And what I'm getting from the farm today, I feel like I want to go back and rest because 10,000 best sitting here every month, at least I'm getting about $15,000 every single month. Am I getting the same money here? No. If you are
Thank
Wow.
you.
spending
Thank you.
1,200, 1,300 to get a flight,
Wow.
Oh, yes.
I'm telling you
Oh,
that
yes.
there is
It
prospect
works
in
like
farming
magic.
in Ghana. 100%. I am into it. It works for me.
Wow.
So thank
I'm
you so
glad
much. I mean,
someone,
he was sharing. Yes, I do
I'm
laying.
so
Even mine
grateful.
is the dip later. Mine is dip later.
Yeah,
I'm going to now.
depleter.
I'm going
Yeah.
to the battery cage system, right?
Yeah.
The money
Yeah.
that I'm getting from it's all about spending part of the money, give it to somebody who has the expertise in it, somebody who can
Exactly.
advise on what to do, somebody who can
Yeah.
check on the farm. If these guys are, if they are making maybe 100 crates a day, and all of a sudden they tell you, oh, today we made 90 crates. It's
Yeah.
not either the best are sick and they are not making the product, but everything is okay. The guy who's checking up on you can detect something, there's something wrong, and then he can
Yeah.
advise you on it. Make sure
Wow.
that every 2-3 months, if I'm making $15,000 a month out of the farm, and I'm spending, I don't want to go to business class, economy, spend 1,500. Take a day or two. Sometimes I go to Ghana 2 days and I come back. Just to go unannounced. Check the books, come back. Sit down with this consultancy, these HR people. I don't care how much it will take this guy to take
Yeah.
that money and then take after the business for me. It is running.
Exactly.
If I get to a
Yeah.
point where I feel that I have enough, then I can relocate back to Ghana. So Samuel, thank you so much for this.
I'm
I
glad.
I
I'm
wish that
glad.
these organizers can continue, doing some of this so that we can sensitize our people out here. People have money here, trust me. People have
Wow.
money, but they don't trust our people. But
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you can continue, sensitizing people, letting your company like outsourcing, it will help
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you
Trust me.
so
Thank you so
much.
much.
Who's your name again?
Wow. Thank you, Mr. John Ransford from
John
Massachusetts. Exactly
Ransford.
where in Massachusetts are you from, Mr. John? Okay. All right. I guess he's off now. He's muted.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Floyd, Mr. Corey Floyd. Please, your name and the state you are calling from or the country. Some people are joining us from Canada. So, Mr. Floyd,
Yes,
or
ma'am. My name is Corey Floyd, and I
Corey.
am calling in tonight from Nashville, Tennessee, in the United States. And
Wonderful.
yes, ma'am. And my question to Mr. Samuel is, um, are you familiar with any of the regulations for hemp farming in Ghana, as far as the licensing and any of the other regulations that are attached to it?
Okay. Yam farming.
Mr. Floyd, is your question relating to yam farming?
No, ma'am. Hemp, like cannabis.
Hemp.
Hemp,
Oh, okay.
hemp.
Hemp
Yes.
Oh,
farming.
okay.
Yeah, is there any
So,
rules and regulations? Good
oh
question,
yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Floyd, actually.
So
Yes, great
there's
question.
actually a legislation concerning the growing of cannabis in Ghana, and you have to get the license first.
Okay.
And I'm sure definitely acquiring the license will be a headache because there's a lot of money in cannabis production.
Okay.
So if you get the right people, you can get your license and they will show you how to do it. I'm sure there will be some regulations to it. You can't just go in and do what you want.
Okay.
So most definitely, when you reach out, you will definitely get contacts with people and you can start from there. Yeah.
Wow. I wonder how he would start. How exactly who should he reach out to for something like that? With the hemp, with the licensing.
Oh, I think you can start a conversation. I don't want to put my head on there because I
Okay.
honestly don't know
Much about the
um
hemp. Okay.
my yes, but I'm sure if he puts the conversation out there, if he has
Okay.
any people in Ghana and he can start talking to the authorities and all that, I'm sure
Okay.
he would find something out of it. Yeah.
I would love my producers to put onto the chat room our link to our WhatsApp group. So viewers who are listening and who have tuned in tonight, please join us on our WhatsApp group. So questions like this that we may not have necessarily have the right answers to, you can definitely put it on the WhatsApp chat. Our producers will put the link in the chat right now, and then you can continue even after this production is over. You can continue and join us on that WhatsApp group. Any more questions from our viewers at this time? All right, I'll go on and read some of the questions from here. Fatih has already come in. Some comfy juice. I guess somebody said something about comfy juice. Okay. Um, weed. Yeah, we know it's weed to be precise. Yes, with the hemp. He's not very much keen with that subject,
Yeah.
so unfortunately, he won't be able to give an exact answer. But again, all I'm learning tonight is about investing in Ghana and doing your research first
Yeah.
before you start. I know a lot of people talked about trust issue. You know, we talked about cultivating the land, getting the land for 500, five
Finish.
hundred Ghana cedis, which we
Yeah.
are still like, okay, Sameh, your program, yeah, I'm coming to you to direct me to
Sure.
where I can get that 500 Ghana cedis
Sure.
land. We talked about that. Okay, my question to you is regarding keeping these chickens alive. A
Hmm.
lot of people are very like health conscious, right? When it comes to the antibiotics that they give to these animals and these hormones that they give to these animals that we have to consume that may not necessarily be good and healthy for us. What is your
Okay.
stance on this?
Okay. So, for the past 5, 6 years, Europe has been fighting the use of antibiotics on poultry. Personally, I don't use antibiotics on my farm. We have some crops like moringa, contumely, that's spinach, which is very good. It serves as an antibiotic to the poultry, so you don't have to give them, synthetic antibiotics.
Mhm.
So it's close to organic farming. You get it. So when you give them these moringa and other, plants, they tend to boost their immune system, and you don't have to do those antibiotics. So it's not
Oh,
really the best, but unfortunately, because of lack of sensitization, these farmers give them the antibiotics, which is rather
wow.
unfortunate. Yeah.
And I guess call me a bit naive, but before all these abrocinum abrochis chicken, what were
Uh-huh.
our elders doing back then? We still survived. We still had organic chickens, wild chickens that they raised and all that. Like, what happened to yes, the organic things
Okay,
that
so
that our land
yeah,
produces naturally?
yeah. So in the olden days, like I mentioned, those organic chicken, what we call the efiakoko, they were around. They could go anywhere and come to the house and all that. And mind you, in those times, our great grandparents went into farming. There was nothing like going to school for years, doing your master's, doctorate, professor, and all that. They were into farming. They used to produce for themselves. We have yam festivals during those times and all that. So their health was very important to them. That's how come they used to live longer.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So unfortunately, we don't have time in Ghana. People should be able to get backyard farms. Those tomato, pepper. You should be able to raise it yourself. It's no big deal, but nobody wants to hold anything when it comes to agric, and it's funny. You get it. And
Huh.
talking about organic, I forgot to mention we have the greenhouse.
Okay.
The
Yes,
greenhouse
the
is also
greenhouse.
booming.
Oh,
You can
really?
talk about, oh yes, you can talk about some products like pepper habanero. We call some pepper habaneros. it's
Yes.
it's booming. Yes, it's booming, it's booming, it's booming. You talk about greenhouse organic, we have the market, like people who are very sensitive with their health, so they love to buy those products, and you can get your
Wow.
market. Yeah, market is always there, but finding it is a problem. That's how
Hmm.
come Lamborghini sells, Ferrari sells, Toyota sells. So don't ever
The
think there's
marketing.
no
Yeah.
market.
The
There
marketing.
is.
It's so important. I mean, I think we start with the youth, we start teaching them. It's almost like we look down upon farming, right? It's
Farmers are
everybody's
rich.
wants to wear. Now it's being spoken about, right? Now
Yeah.
it's out there. We're talking about it, how lucrative it is, and And it's good that we're having these topics. And
Yeah,
unfortunately, tonight our time is fast
I
running,
know.
but we'll definitely do a part two because I
Okay.
want to talk about this greenhouse. I want to talk about how we can really boost the agricultural sector, especially for those of us who are in the diaspora, because we
Yeah,
do need the resources, we do need the
yeah,
help. And a lot of
yeah.
people don't understand the importance of consultancy, right?
Yes,
I didn't know
yes.
say me Jessica. Now be me.
Kakra bi. You
Meanwhile,
know,
no.
I'm very glad my brother, is a living testimony, and he's talking about making $15,000 a month. When I was
Yes,
given these statistics, people felt it was rocket science. They're like, "Really? Is he sure?" And somebody just came in to confirm, and he told you that he was
yes,
paying for consultancy. He doesn't mind because I always say you should get value for money, and trust me, the money you're going to save from paying the consultant, you have no idea. And it's going to sustain your farm, or else you collapse your farm. So come pay
yes.
me. I'll make sure you get things done right.
You heard it right here on HRE TV. Mr. Samuel just mentioned that he is a consultant. He is very knowledgeable about agriculture, whether it's pig farming, whether it's poultry, whether it's just crops. He will make
Yeah.
sure he gives you the right guidance. All right. So please, let's place his number and information in the chat for those of you who are interested in continuing to actually support him as well. You don't want to start something without having knowledge of what it is that you want to, what you're trying to do in Ghana, especially when you are in the diaspora. So please, let's put his information, Mr. Samuel, if you don't mind, put your information, how to
Yeah, I
reach
have.
you, your email,
Yeah, I
etc.
have.
in the chat.
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Some next.
We thank you once again. Etiefo, we thank you all so much for tuning in today. Our time is nearing, so unfortunately we have to wrap up. Mr. Samuel, any last words? Someone says I'm relocating back to Ghana for good.
That's good to know. That's
Yes.
good to
Any
know.
last minute? But I would love to talk about more of the aggregation or irrigation, right? You said?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
irrigation aspect. So we'll definitely do a part two next week or so. We'll talk to our producers and see if we can carry on with this topic and get more people on board. Just like Sister Fatih said, out of frustration, she is looking for someone to partner with in hopes of decreasing the cost and the losses in all this. Don't
yeah.
trust the market women, she said. But there are good people out there.
Oh
Again,
yeah,
Mr.
yeah,
Samuel, Mr.
yeah,
Samuel Adedako,
yeah.
CEO of
So,
Partis Agri Limited.
Mr.
Um,
And Asanka Premium
and
Foods
Asanka
Limited.
Premium Food Limited. We
Okay,
thank you
so
so much, Mr. Samuel, for your time this evening. You've educated
um,
us so much
uh,
on this agricultural, but definitely next week, God willing, we will do a part two of this segment and talk about the greenhouse. That's very important to me. Talking about the habanero pepper because that's all we use out here.
yeah,
So
yeah,
we'll definitely do that. Any last minute words for our guests tonight?
yeah. I just want to tell everybody that there's a lot of potential in Ghana. They should not give up on Ghana, just like any other place. This is our home, and it's the only place we have to call out our own. And as for people would always disappoint you. It's not even in agriculture alone, transportation everywhere. So make sure you have the right people to work with, and trust me, you're going to laugh forever because when it comes to farming, it's for life. Farming is for life. There's no way you do farming at a point and you just retire. We don't retire in farming, and you're gonna make a lot of, oh yes, and you go because everybody, we are eating every day, so you can
Yes.
imagine. Yeah, farming is life, and I'm most grateful for the opportunity to link up with my brothers and sisters in the diaspora. I left my number in case you didn't hear. My number is 055-837-6127, 055-837-6127. And you can check up on my website, www.cartusagri.com. We can link up sometime. Thank you very much for having me, Obaya. I'm most
Oh, thank you
grateful.
so much, Mr. Samuel. I'm trying to get to someone's comment. She said, I hope you have not I never regret sending my money through TapTap Send. Oh, thank you. Please, I hope you have not forgotten about me, Lydia Boafo. Please, Sister Lydia, can you remind me what this is in regards to? She said, please, I hope you have not forgotten about me.
I think she wanted to be an agent or something.
Oh, yes. Sister Lydia, please stay on the line. We are going to take a short break. It's here for Miss Samoa. Keep standing still. We're taking a short break. When we come back, we'll continue with a time with TapTap Send and talk about all TapTap Send has to offer. All your questions and answers will be answered regarding TapTap Send. Again, Brother Samuel, thank you so much. God bless you.
You're
Have a good
welcome.
night, and we will reach out
Good
next
night.
week. Good
All
night.
right. Bye.
All right, let's take a short break. It's here for. We'll be right back.
My chef and party planner. You know we can't get this retirement slash birthday shindig wrong.
Everything is almost ready, but small problem.
Why, what's up?
We are way over budget, Kweku.
Everything is almost twice the estimate.
Adibab, okay? No worries.
So with TapTap Send, I have got a cake and decorations covered from here.
You handle the food.
If any extra expenses comes up, just text me or call me.
I'm off today, so I should be easily reachable.
Hey, chairman, it is for
Say, no be easy, you. Chairman has time and money. Allah.
Kweku TapTap, Kweku do, Kweku the.
Ah, chairman can call you.
Hey, Alande, Chairman send them.
TapTap Send. Papa no.
Okay, once again, we are resuming our topic.